softer suggestions for harmony. British English, understand and indirect criticism, while the English expresses identity and ownership. Writers like Chinua Achebe and Salman Rushdie use localized English to convey indigenous experiences, providing English is a tool for creativity and cultural resistance, not just imitation. Teaching English today emphasizes intelligibility and intercultural awareness rather than strict British and American norms. Exposure to multiple Englishes equips learners for authentic global communication. World English is slow, that English is dynamic, shaped by its global uses. Phonological, lexical, grammatical, and pragmatic variations reflect cultural realities, not deficiencies. Recognizing these varieties fosters equally and prepares us for the evolving role of English in international communication. That's all my presentation. Thanks for giving this opportunity. By the way, I'm Sendil Kumar from United Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, lot number 10, M. Tamil Mani, priest deemed to be University, Tanjavur.
Ma, you can call next ma.
Okay, sir. Lot number 11, Josika, Kamaraj College, Autonomous, Thuthukudi, Tamil Nadu. Lot number 12, Gayatri K, Sri Sharada College for Women, Autonomous, Salem. Lot number 13, Maria Jessie, priest deemed to be University, Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu. Lot number 14, J. Subarna, priest deemed to be University, Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu. Lot number 15, S. Rasa Kumar, priest deemed to be University, Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu. Lot number 16, Ramani S. Vavu Vajita College, Women's College of Arts and Science, Kailpatnam. Lot number 17, S. Kirtana, Govindamal Adityanar College for Women, Tirchandur, Tamil Nadu.
Yes, ma'am. I'm present. Yes, ma'am.
And you are audible. You can present, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm S. Kirtana from Govindamal Adityanar College. Now I'm going to present the topic Smart Cyber Threat Detection with Blockchain Security. In today's digital world, cyber attacks are growing rapidly. Traditional security systems are reactive. So, in literature survey, traditional IDS detects mainly knows attacks. Log stores in centralized, but blockchain stores decentralized. So here my project reveals how trust this project is. First, it detects the malicious attacks and immediately send the message through email to the user. And after this, it blocks the attacks and save the hash code in blockchain. Because blockchain is spread in thousands millions of computers, so our pattern will be safe. No one can be hacked. Methodology, the traffic monitor. Here I am using the app Suricata to detect the all malicious and illegal app to outgoing networks. Hello.
Hope she completed. You can call next.
Okay, sir. Thank
Hello.
you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Lot number 18, B. Amisha, AVP College of Arts and Science, Tirupur.
Ma'am, present, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you can present.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So, today I'm going to present my paper on literature, another dimension of psychological inquiry. And literature and psychology are closely connected. Both try to understand the human mind and human behavior. Actually, psychology studies the mind using theories and research, whereas literature shows the same ideas but through stories, characters, and emotions. So, like we read a novel, poem, or drama, we don't just enjoy the story, we feel the feelings about the character, like fear, love, confusion, happiness, whatever the feeling is, we feel it through the character. Now, the second one is like psychological themes in literature. How does the literature work on that? So I have a certain kind of criteria like how literature defines psychology. The first one is identity crisis. So we have seen many characters in literature who suffer to identify themselves, like for what purpose they are here, for what purpose they are living. And second one is like a loneliness. We have seen some characters that feel lonely and disconnected from the society. So this portrays the life of the people who like really live in the same way in the society. So whenever they read this work, it makes them to connect through the books towards their life. Then we have love and repression. Characters may hide their true feelings because of the social pressure, and the same is portrayed in the literature. So the major themes like madness, guilt, and self-realization also appear frequently. So through these themes, literature reflects real mental and emotional struggles. And I have certain psychological scenes, like in Shakespeare, we have a famous character called Hamlet, and the famous dialogue to be or not to be. So Soliloquy shows that Hamlet's inner conflict, his confusion about life and death. In a similar way, Charlotte Gilliam's a work called Yellow Wallpaper, where the narrator becomes obsessed with the wallpaper. This shows the mental breakdown of that character, and these scenes help the readers to understand the depth of the human mind, like how even in their life they must have gone through certain kinds of things, which they portray, which they understand through the characters. So literature plays a major role in molding someone's emotionally, mentally, his mental strength. Everything depends upon the book he reads. And the famous theme of psychology, like stream of consciousness, which is also shown in literature, the technique which allows the feelings to naturally flow through thoughts and emotions. And here the character don't need to act, just like his real thinking, he can go on. So it helps the reader to enter the character mind and understand their confusion, fear, and desires. So the other literature examples are Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway, which has explained the concept of stream of consciousness. And in Dostoevsky Crime and Punishment, the character Raskolnikov, he suffers from a guilt after committing a crime. So these kinds of scenes, these kinds of works helps the people to connect literature and psychology. See, the both different majors are internally related. So literature acts as a mirror to the human mind, and readers often connect with the characters and feel empathy. So I want to conclude that literature plays an important role in understanding the psychology. We may think that it's just a book, it's just a chapter, but it really molds our the way of thinking. It really helps us to evolve from the feelings, from the trauma, whichever we went through. Therefore, literature is not just an art, it is an essential tool for understanding the human mind. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Lot number 19, M.L. Mohammed Fatima, Govindamal Adityanar College for Women, Tiruchendur.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, you can present, ma'am.
I am Fatima from Govindamal Adityanar College, Tiruchendur. I am going to present the topic of mysteries of black hole. Introduction to black holes. These are the extremely dense objects whose gravity is so strong. This is formed when massive stars exhaust their nuclear fuel and collapse under gravity. When any matter falls into a black hole, this forms a bright accretion disk and bends light strongly. These are classified by according to their mass, rotation, and electric charge. It also emits Hawking radiation, produces gravitational waves during mergers. This helps us to study extreme physics and space-time. Formation of black hole. When a massive star reaches the end of its life, the nuclear pressure balances gravity is so low. An iron core forms which produces no energy. Because of this, energy production stops and the core collapses. This collapse is called gravitational collapse. Now, when the core is low, a neutron star is formed. When this mass is very high, when this TOV limit is reached more than that, it becomes a black hole. Anatomy of a black hole. The important one is singularity. It is the central core of the black hole and it has infinite density and extreme gravity. All the mass of the black hole is concentrated here. The next one is event horizon. It is the boundary of the black hole. Here, nothing can escape, even the light itself, it cannot escape. This is also known as point of no return. The next one is photon sphere. This region will be outside the event horizon. The gravity is so strong that light itself bends and can orbit the black hole. It moves in the curved paths. This bending of light is known as gravitational lensing. This appears to be bright and it shows shadow and glowing. The next one is accretion disk. Accretion disk is a rotating disk of hot gas and dust around the black hole. Here, the matter heats up and emits intense radiation. The next one is relativistic jets. These are narrow beams of high energy particles that are ejected from the poles of the black hole. These are formed due to the strong magnetic fields and rotation. Next is classification based on their origin and mass. Stellar mass black hole. These are formed when a star has about 20 times or more than the sun's mass. End of this life, the star's core collapses under gravity and becomes a black hole. This is also formed due to the mergers of two neutron stars. These types of black holes are common in the universe. The next one is intermediate mass black hole. These are formed from repeated mergers of stellar mass black hole. These ranges from 100 to 10,000 times of
Last
the
30
mass.
seconds. 30 seconds.
What?
You have to complete within 30 seconds, ma.
Okay, sir. It also acts as a link between stellar mass black hole and supermassive black hole. The next one is supermassive black hole. These are found at the center of galaxies and grow by accreting matter such as gas, dust, and stars. The next is based on spin and charge. There are four types. Some one are non-rotating and uncharged. The next one is non-rotating and charged. Next one is rotating and charged. Another one is rotating and charged. Hawking radiation means which emit energy. This energy is known as Hawking radiation. When the mass is very low, the temperature will be high and vice versa. Spaghettification means it occurs near a black hole due to the extremely strong gravity.
Thank you, Fatima. Your time is taken. Next one, Sundari.
Thank you, ma'am. Lot number 20, Dr. J. Satyalakshmi, Adityanar College of Arts and Science, Tiruchendur. Lot number 21, S. Tamil Selvi, AVP College of Arts and Science, Tirupur, Tamil Nadu.
Yes, ma'am, I'm present.
Okay.
Yes, today I'm going to present my topic, literature as a mirror of society. The topic explains how literature shows real life and social problems. Literature is connected to society. Writers write about people, culture, and real life situations. Literature not only tells stories but also shows social issues and problems. Literature shows the daily life of people. It talks about poverty, inequality, and suffering. Through literature, we understand society clearly. For an example, Charles Dickens' Hard Times shows the problems of workers in the industrial age. And second, Mulk Raj Anand, Untouchable shows caste in discrimination in India. These works reflect the real social issues about the people's um, literature also speaks against injustice. Writers use their writing to fight oppression. It gives a voice to poor and suppressed people. In Mahasweta Devi's Draupadi, the main character shows courage and resistance. And then Shelley's Song to Men for England talks against worker exploitation. These works encourage people to question injustice. Literature helps to change society. Writers point out social evils and bad traditions. Their works motivate people to think differently. In Ibsen's A Doll's House, Nora asks for freedom and self-respect in that. And second, in Raja Rao's Gandhapura, people fight together for social change. These works support reform. And some common themes in literature are class difference, gender inequality, caste discrimination, poverty, and justice. These themes show social reality. Literature talks about women's problems and freedom. Toni Morrison's Beloved shows the pain and strength of women. Kamala Das' poems speak only about the women's feelings. And to conclude, literature is a mirror of society. It shows real life injustice and the need for change. Literature helps to understand society better. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Lot number 22, Dr. Maintili B., Sri Shanmuga College of Engineering and Technology. Lot number 23, Dr. S. Muthulakshmi, Govindamal Adityanar College for Women, Tiruchendur. Lot number 24, Ms. S. Priyadarshini and Dr. M. Kavita, Parks College, Autonomous, Tirupur. Lot number 25, Mr. Punyamurthy S., Peace Redeemed to be University. Lot number 26, Vinod Kumar M., Mailam Engineering College, Mailam.
One second, Monica is there. Miss Monica is there.
Yes, sir.
Monica, if you can present. Actually, your number was title is there. G. Monica, Kama Women's College, Thuthukudi.
Yes, sir.
You can present. 25B. 25B. Lot number 25B, Monica.
Respected dignitaries, staff members, and students, good morning to all. My topic is From Battlefield to Homefront Women's Trauma in the Women by Christine Hanna. My author is Christine Hanna. She was an American writer. Her most notable works include Winter Garden, The Nightingale, Firefly Lane, etc. Her writing moved from category romance towards contemporary fiction, blending emotional storytelling with multi-generational narratives. War literature has traditionally focused on male soldiers and their battlefield experiences. Women's roles and sufferings, especially their psychological trauma, have often remained invisible. Christine Anna's novel, The Woman, breaks this silence by foregrounding women's experiences about the war and its long lasting emotional consequences. This paper here examines how women carry trauma from the battlefield into civilian life and how their suffering continues even after the war ends. In The Women, Hannah highlights the crucial, yet overlooked contributions of women during wartime. Women serve as nurses, caregivers, and emotional anchors in war zones. Although they do not always fight with weapons, they face death, violence, and loss daily. The novel challenges the assumption that war trauma belongs only to men. Women witness brutal injuries, deaths of soldiers, and the constant fear of survival. These experiences deeply affect their mental health, yet the society fails to recognize them as war victims. One of the central themes of the novel is psychological trauma. Here, the women characters experiences symptoms similar to post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD), including the nightmares, anxiety, guilt, and emotional numbness. On the battlefield, they are expected to remain calm and composed while handling extreme situations. Suppressing fear and grief becomes a survival mechanism. However, this emotional repression intensifies trauma. Hannah here portrays how repeated exposure to suffering leaves invisible scars that are far more enduring than physical wounds. The transition from battlefield to home front is one of the most painful journeys for women in The Women. Returning home does not bring peace or relief. Instead, women faces alienation, misunderstanding, and silence. Unlike male veterans, women's trauma is often dismissed or ignored. Society expects them to resume normal lives without acknowledging their wartime experiences. Here,
Ma'am,
this
30 seconds.
reflection. Shall I continue, sir?
30 seconds. Please take 30 seconds.
Okay. This lack of recognition deepens their sense of isolation. The home front becomes another battlefield where women struggles to reclaim identity, stability, and emotional balance. Here, Hannah emphasizes that women's trauma is gendered. Patriarchal narratives marginalize women's war, reducing them to supportive roles rather than acknowledging them as services. The novel here exposes how women are denied space to narrate their pain. Their trauma remains invisible because it does not fit traditional heroic war narratives. By centering women's voices, the women redefines war literature through a feminist lens. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Lot number 26, Vinod Kumayan, Mailam Engineering College, Mailam. Sangeeta S. Lot number 27, Mailam Engineering College, Mailam. Lot number 28, Gayatri K. Sri Sharada College for Women, Salem. Lot number 29, Abhiprinu AP, Nesamani Memorial Christian College, Marthandam. Lot number 30, yes,
Yeah. One second. Abhiprunu is there. Abhiprunu, you can proceed. To directly proceed. If you raise hands, we are unable to catch you. Kindly proceed.
My name is Abhiprenu. My topic is Manufacturing the Surviving Mind, Non-Human Agency in Kazuo Ishiguro's Clara and the Sun. So about the author, Kazuo Ishiguro is the Nobel Prize winning British writer of Japanese origin. His works has been translated into more than 50 languages, and he also questions human conditions in works. And he won the Nobel Prize in 2017 for Clara and the Sun. In this work, Kazuo Ishiguro has mainly criticized about the artificial friend as a servitude to design the human emotions and the social needs, and also it helps the people. Clara defines by usefulness, obedience, and replaceability, reflecting a dystopian society where artificial intelligence is used as a purpose. Clara is created as an AI and used gender to describe her observer. Her servitude goes beyond mechanical assistance. Clara's role is more unique when we compare to the other AIs in the stores. Her servitude is not just a functional, she is designed to form a safe haven and provide the emotional support for the children. Kazuo Ishiguro also criticized the unconsciousness in this novel. He uses the Clara from the eye perspective of the subject, and he uses the Lacan theory, where consciousness is made as the ego or consciousness in the realm of imaginary. The consciousness is formed during the mirror stage, and the subject is separated from the ego. The mirror stage and the ego. Here in this novel, Lacan uses the Clara's self-identity emerges from the store window, a metaphorical mirror stage. Her ego is fundamentally dependent on external object and description from the others. So, in this novel, I also included the post-humanism. It refers to the critical theoretical framework that challenges the traditional boundaries between the human and the non-human, which also became the very popular in the literature in this context. We can see the Ayab Hassan in his essays, Prometheus performer towards the post-humanist culture. He first defined the word post-humanism. According to Derrida, posthumanism, in which he efforts upset the hierarchical being the method of deconstruction by pointing out how groundless their superiority is through the myth of Prometheus in his work, The Animal That Therefore I Am in 2008. And also in this novel, I included the anti-anthropocentrism, where anti-anthropocentrism rejects the human expectations
30 seconds more. 30 seconds more.
Distributed values and agencies across human and non-human technological and natural entities. Here I conclude this. The Clara and the Sun images the world in which humans are no longer the sole bearers of the consciousness, where these are the relations and the ethical inclusion understandings of the existence of the human beings. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, lot number 30, yes, Anita, Govindamal Adityanar College for Women, Tiruchendur. Lot number 31, Dr. Mangaleshwari, Govindamal Adityanar College for Women, Tiruchendur.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். கோவிந்தம்மாள் ஆயத்தனார் மகளிர் கல்லூரி தமிழ் துறையிலிருந்து பேசுகிறேன். சங்ககால மக்களின் விளையாட்டும் பொழுதுபோக்கும் என்ற தலைப்பில் கருத்துக்கள் கூற உள்ளேன். சங்க காலத்து மக்கள் உழைப்பிற்கு எவ்வளவு சிறப்பிடம் தந்தார்களோ அதே அளவிற்கு விளையாட்டிற்கும் பொழுதுபோக்கிற்கும் உரிய இடம் தந்தார்கள். இவை உழைப்பின் அயற்சியை போக்கி புத்துணர்ச்சியை ஏற்படுத்தி கொள்ள உதவின. இவ்விளையாட்டு கூட ஒரு நாட்டின் இயற்கை சூழல்களுக்கும் பழக்க வழக்கங்களுக்கும் தக்கவாறே அமைகின்றது. சங்க இலக்கியங்கள் ஆடவர்க்கும் பெண்டிற்கும் இருவருக்கும் உரியதுமான பல்வேறு விளையாட்டுகளையும் பொழுதுபோக்கினையும் இடம் பிரித்து காட்டுகின்றன. ஏறு தழுவுதல், மற்போர் ஆகிய விளையாட்டுகளை ஆண்கள் விளையாடினர். முள்ளு நிலத்து ஆயர்கள் ஏறு தழுவுதலை வீர விளையாட்டாக கொண்டனர். இவ்விளையாட்டு குறித்து பிரிட்டானிகா கலைக்களஞ்சியமும் எவ்ரிமேன் கலைக்களஞ்சியமும் விளக்கமாக குறிப்பிடுகின்றன. ஏறு தழுவும் இவ்வீர விளையாட்டு மேநாடுகளில் புல் ஃபைட் என்றும் ஸ்பெயின் நாட்டில் தேசிய விளையாட்டாக கொண்டமையும் கிரீஸ், ரோம், போர்ச்சுகல், பிரான்ஸ், மெக்சிகோ முதலான நாடுகளில் சிறந்து விளங்கியமையும் குறிப்பிடுவது இதன் சிறப்பை புலப்படுத்தும். ஆயர்கள் ஏறு தழுவுதலை வீர விளையாட்டாக கொண்டாலும் இதன் மூலம் அந்நிலத்து பெண்டிரை மணத்தல் உயிர் கொள்கையாக கொண்டிருந்தனர். எழுந்தது துகள், ஏற்றனர் மார்பு, கவிழ்ந்தன மறுப்பு, கலங்கினர் பலர் என்று முல்லைக்கெளி பாடல் விளக்குகிறது. மற்போரில் வல்ல வீரர்கள் சங்க காலத்தில் இருந்தனர். தந்தையார் என்னும் புலவர் மற்போரில் இருவர் போரிட்ட காட்சியை அகநானூற்று பாடல் ஒன்றின் மூலம் கூறுகிறார். திருவிழா காலங்களில் மல்லர்கள் தத்தம் சேரிகளில் விளையாட்டு போர் நிகழ்த்துவர். சேரியில் நிகழ்த்தும் கோழி போரினையும் நெய்தல் நில மன்றிலே ஆட்டுக்கிடாய் போரையும் கவுதாரி போரையும் மக்கள் கண்டு களித்தனர். பெண்களுக்குரிய விளையாட்டும் பொழுதுபோக்கும் ஊஞ்சலாடல், குரவையாடல், களங்காடுதல், அளவ நாட்டல், வண்டல் விளையாட்டு, பந்தாடுதல், சுனையாடல் என பல விளையாட்டுகள் சங்க இலக்கியங்கள் குறிப்பிடுகின்றன. ஊஞ்சலாடல் மகளிர் வளைந்த களியிலுள்ள தாழை விழுதாலான கயிற்றிலும் பனை நாரினால் திரித்த கயிற்றிலும் கட்டி தொங்கவிடப்பட்ட ஊஞ்சலில் ஆடி மகிழ்ந்தனர். ஊஞ்சலின் பலகை சுறா மீனினது வெண்மருப்பால் இயண்டது. குறிஞ்சி நிலத்து பெண் ஊஞ்சலாடி மகிழ்ந்ததை இனங்கிளி ஆங்கடித்து ஓம்பும் புனந்தையல் ஊசல் ஊர்ந்து ஆட ஒரு ஞான்று வந்தானே என்ற கலித்தொகை பாடலடிகள் சுட்டுகின்றன. குரவையாடல் நெய்தல் நிலத்து பரதவ மகளிர் கடற்கரை பரப்பில் கீழ்காற்று குவிந்த மணலில் குரவையாடி மகிழ்ந்தனர். கொண்டல் இடுமணல் குரவை என்று அகநானூறு கூறுகிறது. இவர்களோடு ஆண்களும் சேர்ந்து குரவையாடியதை புறநானூறு விளக்குகிறது. இவர்களைப் போலவே மலைவாழ் மக்களான குறவர்கள் குறத்தியர்களோடு மலை உச்சியில் குரவையாடினர். ஏறு தழுவி வெற்றி பெற்றவனுக்கும் அவனுக்கு பரிசில் கொடுத்த முல்லை நிலத்தார் வெற்றி விழா கொண்டாடி குரவையாடியதை தன்னுமை பாணி தளரா தெழுவுக பண்ணமையின் சீர்குரவையுள் தென்கண்ணி என்னும் கலித்தொகை பாடலடிகள் கூறுவது கொண்டு சங்ககால மகளிரின் இன்ப பொழுதுபோக்கில் குரவையாடலும் இடம்பெற்றிருந்தமையை உணர முடிகிறது. களங்காடுதலாவது ஒரு கையால் காய்களை மேலே எறிந்து மற்றொரு கையால் அதை ஏந்துவதாகும். செல்வர் குடியில் பிறந்த மகளிர் பொன்னால் செய்த களலை கொண்டு விளையாடியதை பெரும்பானாட்டு படையும் புறநானூறும் சுட்டுகின்றன. நன்றி.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, lot number 32, Dr. B. Srinivasan, Sacred Heart College, Tirupattur.
Excuse me,
Good morning
ma'am.
to all. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, sure, you can continue.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm Mr. Ashik Ahmad, the research scholar, and my supervisor, Dr. P. Srinivasan, presenting a paper on a study on customers' experience towards UPI payments in Tirupattur town. The prime child of digital banking is UPI, which was introduced on 1st December 2016 in India. In 24 and 25, 84% of total transaction value with the value of rupees 260.6 lakhs crore were conducted through UPI in India. The UPI provides various benefits like simple and speedy payments, easiness and convenience. The adoption of UPI is affected by various factors like lack of awareness, over dependence on cash, lack of security, and privacy. The study aim is to analyze the customer experience of UPI users in Tirupattur town. The research has been conducted with 171 respondents under convenient sampling methods and adopts descriptive research design. The study examine the user's experience towards UPI based transaction. The primary data were analyzed with SPSS version 27. The statistical tool like independent sample t-test, ANOVA, and Chi-Square to be examining the user's experience in terms of various demographical attributes. The finding of the studies reveals that login and transaction process are most preferred features of UPI. Well, security is the lowest among other features. The study indicates that customers' experience towards UPI is significantly influenced by age, education, income, and occupation. Further, there is no significant relationship between preferred UPI applications and customer experience. The study further identifies a significant relationship between gender and frequency and among the UPI transactions, whereas the customer experience were not significantly influenced by gender. The study specifies the vital insights into the UPI applications and various socio-economic attributes of users, which may be aid the policymakers, users, financial institutions, and app developers to improve their users' experience and enhance their satisfactions. The further suggestions, the NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India, have make a UPI apps safer than create a safer grade to customers from the fraudulent activities. The bank have to give better customer awareness program to their customers. Finally, the study conclude that uh, the government have to create a more awareness about UPI usage in rural users. The bank have to create a better customer care service to enhance the UPI transaction in future. My thank you, ma'am. My sincere thank to Govindamal Adityanar College for Human Tiruchengood for giving this wonderful opportunity. Once again, I thanks to all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Next, lot number 34, Miss Kasturi, Tiruvallur University, Velur. Lot number 35, R. Usha Parameshwari, Govindamal Adityanar College for Women, Tiruchendur. Lot number 36, Agila V, Department of English, Sri Sharada College for Women, Salem.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Shall I present?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Akila, Research Scholar of English. The title of my article is Silence, Care, and Emotional Inheritance in Wendella Vidas Let the Northern Lights Erase Your Name. Disabled people should not be understood as fractured individuals. Rather, their presence can gently ease emotional fractures within the families and intimate social spaces. This article explores Wendella Vidas' novel Let the Northern Lights Erase Your Name, which is published in 2007, through the interconnected ideas of silence, care, and emotional inheritance, with particular focus on the protagonist's younger brother, Jeremy. Although Jeremy remains largely nonverbal and narratively sided, his silent presence exerts a lasting emotional influence on the protagonist, shaping her experiences of responsibility. This novel presents disability not as a central plot device, but as an effective force that quietly reorganizes family relationships. Clarissa's relationship with Jeremy is marked by reciprocal care rather than one sided dependency. While she assumes the role of protector and emotional anchor, Jeremy's calm and steady presence, unlike her other family members, offers her a form of grounding that centers her internal fragmentation. In the moments of emotional crisis, Clarissa's attachment to Jeremy reveals how caregiving becomes a mode of emotional survival, allowing her to negotiate grief, abandonment, and identity. By highlighting this sibling bond, this paper shows us how the author presents disability as a relational force. Clarissa's words and care meet Jeremy, likewise, his silent presence, creating an emotional continuity and support that does not rely on mutual speech. To conclude with, this novel invites us to see disability not as a tragic defect, but as a force that gently mends and reorders family bonds. Through the protagonist's recollections and small acts of care, the novel shows how a nonverbal presence can be more eloquent than words in binding a family together. Her devotion to his brother, Jeremy, demonstrates that caregiving can be a mode of emotional survival, a way to bear grief and find meaning. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Lot number 37, Dr. Ramya Niranjani, Department of English, Sri Sharada College for Women, Salem.
Excuse me, ma'am. Ramya Niranjani, ma'am, is my research supervisor. So I have presented her on behalf. I hope it's okay. Ramya Niranjani, ma'am, is my research supervisor.
We got you. That's fine.
Okay, sir.
Somebody you can proceed with next part.
Okay, sir. Lot number 38, yes, Revati Raguraj, DKM College for Women, Beluru. Lot number 39, Dr. P. Aishwarya, Govindama Aditya College for Women, Tiruchendur. Lot number 40, Pain Muli Ji, Sri Sharada College for Women, Salem.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here, ma'am. Shall I present, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon to one and all. My topic is on the topic of From Angeri to the City, Negotiating the Third Space in Kaveri Nambison's The Hills of Angeri. So, in Indian English fiction, frequently represents the tension between rural belonging and urban modernity through female protagonists whose spatial mobility is influenced by education, professional life, and gendered expectations. So, in Kaveri Nambison's The Hills of Angeri, it situates this tension in the life of Nalli, the protagonist, whose movement from village space to the city marks a critical phase of identity negotiation. So, drawing on Homi K. Baba's concept of the third space, this paper examines how Nalli's adoption of a city girl identity unfolds within an in between cultural zone where tradition and modernity intersect. Homike Baba's notion of the third space challenges binary oppositions such as tradition versus modernity and rural versus urban by emphasizing cultural negotiation and liminality. The third space is not a site of fixed identity, but a dynamic zone where meanings are produced through interaction and translation. Within this space, individuals are able to engage with dominant structures without fully internalizing them. So, applying this concept to the hills of Angeri allows for a nuanced reading of Nalli's identity, which emerges either neither as purely rural nor fully urban, but as a negotiated subjectivity shaped by both spaces. For Nalli, the city represents access to education, professional discipline, and social mobility. Medical training and urban institutional life enable her to construct a modern public self marked by efficiency, independence, and competence. The city thus functions as a space of empowerment, offering possibilities unavailable in the village. However, this empowerment is structured by institutional norms and patriarchal expectations that demand emotional restraint, respectability, and conformity. Nalli's adoption of urban manners and professional comportment is therefore strategic rather than transformative, allowing her to function effectively within modern structures. So, in the conclusion, the hills of Angeri presents Nalli's urban transformation not as a break from rural life, but as a negotiated process with the third space. Her city girl identity emerges as a strategic adaptation that enables mobility while preserving emotional and ethical rootedness. Through this portrayal harmony, Nambison challenges rigid binaries of rural and urban, tradition and modernity, and offers a nuanced understanding of female subjectivity in modern Indian society. Thank you, sir. Sir, on behalf of my research supervisor, Dr. C.G. Sangeeta, I have presented, sir. Is it okay? Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Lot number 41, Rajeshwari MP, Sri Sharada College for Women, Salem. Lot number 42, Mrs. J. Uttara Kumari, Govindamal Adityanar College for Women, Tiruchendur. Lot number 43, Dr. C.G. Sangeeta, Sri Sharada College for Women, Salem.
Ma'am, I have presented on behalf of my research supervisor, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Next, lot
Hello?
number 40.
Hello? Hello, excuse me?
Yes, ma'am.
41. Slot number 41. I am Rajeshwari MP.
Okay, ma'am.
Just now you. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. The topic of my presentation today is Urban Indian Womanhood in Anita Nayar's Mistress. The concept of Indian womanhood has undergone significant transformation in the context of urbanization, globalization, and socio-economic change. Urban spaces promise freedom, mobility, and individuality, yet they continue to reproduce traditional patriarchal expectations that restrict women's autonomy. Contemporary Indian English literature has actively engaged with these contradictions, offering nuanced representations of women's lived experiences in urban settings. Anita Nayar's Mistress occupies an important place within this literary tradition. The novel delves into the emotional and psychological lives of women who exist within and on the margins of urban society. Rather than presenting a singular model of womanhood, Nayar constructs multiple female subjectivities shaped by desire, silence, exclusion, and resistance. This paper seeks to examine how Mistress articulates urban Indian womanhood through its principal female characters and thematic concerns. Anita Nayar is widely recognized for her sensitive portrayal of women's inner worlds and her critique of patriarchal structures. Her novels often explore themes of gender inequality, emotional alienation, and female selfhood. In Mistress, Nayar departs from linear storytelling and employs multiple perspectives to reveal how women's identities are shaped by both personal relationships and socio-cultural forces. Feminist critics note that Nayar's writing foregrounds women who question prescribed roles without necessarily achieving complete liberation. This ambivalence is central to Mistress, where urban modernity offers women awareness but not guaranteed freedom. This study adopts a feminist literary approach to analyze Mistress. Feminist criticism focuses on the construction of female identity within patriarchal systems, representation of women's desire and sexuality, power relations between men and women, intersectionality of gender with class, religion, and culture. Using this framework allows for a critical understanding of how urban Indian womanhood is portrayed as complex, conflicted, and evolving rather than uniform or idealized. A representation of urban Indian womanhood using the character Radha. Radha is the central female character in Mistress and the most significant representation of urban Indian womanhood. Married to Shyam, Radha appears to live a secure, respectable urban life. However, beneath this
Madam,
surface...
30 seconds more.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sexuality, silence, and female agency. One of the most significant contributions of Mistress to Indian English fiction is its candid treatment of female sexuality. Nayar refuses to idealize chastity or demonize desire. Instead, she presents sexuality as integral to women's sense of self. To conclude, I would say Anita Nayar's Mistress offers a powerful and multifaceted portrayal of urban Indian womanhood. Through Radha, Sadhya, and Angela, the novel explores diverse female experiences shaped by marriage, marginalization, desire, and displacement. The novel underscores that urban Indian womanhood is not a singular experience, but a spectrum marked by contradictions, negotiations, and silence resistance. Mistress thus stands as an important feminist text that compels readers to reconsider the emotional, social, and political realities of women in contemporary India. Thank you for the opportunities.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, lot number 42, Mrs. J. Uttara Kumari, Govindamal Adityanar College for Women, Tiruchendur. Lot number 44, Dr. Selvalakshmi A, Sri Sarada College for Women, Salem. Lot number 45, Mrs. Pithiba, NMSS, Vellaichami Nadar College, Nagamalai, Madurai.
Ma'am, I am
Lot number 46.
Ma'am, I am lot number 45, Pithiba.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to everyone. My topic is I am Deepa, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, NMS SBN College. My topic is Mathematical Modeling of Climate Change and Extreme Weather Prediction. So, what is the mathematical modeling? Then will be abstract is climate change is one of the most complex scientific challenges of the 21st century, characterized by long-term shift of temperature, precipitation, sea level, and the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events. See, mathematical modeling plays a central role in the understanding these changes, explaining the driving mechanism and predicting future climate behavior under different paper presents a comprehensive study of mathematical model used in climate change analysis and extreme weather prediction. It discusses the theoretical foundation of climate modeling, including energy change refers to persistence of mechanism in the characterized properties of the climate system over long periods, typically decades or longer. These changes may occur due to the natural factors such as volcanic and exception solar variability. This paper aims to provide an in-depth exploitation of the mathematical model used in climate change studies, extreme weather prediction. This all objective is to explain the theoretical basis of climate models and describe different types of mathematical models used in sciences, and then to analyze methods for extreme weather
Madam,
prediction.
30 seconds more. 30 seconds.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. And then components will be atmosphere, convects, weather, and energy transfer. Hydrosphere includes ocean and rivers and and then one. And then experience will be observation data alone cannot predict future climate models.
Thank you, madam.
Days.
Thank you, madam.
Conclusion.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, lot number 46, Dr. Saloni Srivastava, GU, Group of Institution,
Hello.
Greater Noida.
Hello, ma'am. I'm present.
Yes, ma'am.
Do I audible here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Myself, Dr. Saloni Srivastava, and I am Associate Professor in GNIOT Group of Institutions, Greater Noida. I am presenting my paper on Advanced Computational Aerodynamics for Performance Enhancement. Actually, this research paper delves into application of computational fluid dynamics in aerodynamic optimization. CFD has become an interdisciplinary tool in analyzing and improving the aerodynamic performance of various structures, including aircraft, automobiles, and wind turbines. This paper explores the fundamental principle of CFD, its methodologies, and its role in aerodynamic optimization. The study includes mathematical model, numerical simulation, and case studies. Results are presented through diagrams and table to illustrate the effectiveness of CFD in achieving optimal aerodynamic designs. Actually, the field of aerodynamics is crucial for the design and performance for many engineering systems. Aerodynamic optimization aims to enhance the efficiency and performance of these systems by minimizing drag, maximizing lift, and improving overall flow characteristics. Computational fluid dynamics offer a powerful computational approach to analyze and optimize aerodynamic designs. This paper provides an overview of CFD principle, method, and their application in aerodynamic applications. Here we use the fundamental principle of CFD, and in the methodology, I use grid generation, which is a critical step in CFD involving the creation of a computational mesh that describes the domain of interest. Different types of grids, such as structured, unstructured, and hybrid grids, are used based on the complexity of the geometry. I also use the numerical interpretation involving finite difference method, finite volume method, finite element method. And in the turbulence modeling, I use three uh, mainly model that are Reynolds average Navier-Stokes, large eddy simulation, direct numerical simulation, and I also show the graph between them. And then for the aerodynamic optimization, I use the optimization algorithm. Also, I have shown the flowchart of aerodynamic optimization process. And for the aircraft wing design, I use a case study on optimizing an aircraft wing to minimize drag and maximize lift is presented. The wing geometry is parameterized and CFD simulation are performed to evaluate the aerodynamic performance. In that, I have show the optimization result for aircraft wing in tabular form, also in the graph form. And the results from the case study demonstrate the effectiveness of CFD in aerodynamic optimization. The optimized design shows significant improvements in aerodynamic performance, validating the use of CFD and optimization algorithm in achieving optimal designs. And last, what I have concluded is that computational fluid dynamics is a powerful tool for aerodynamic optimization. By solving the complex Navier-Stokes equation and employing advanced optimization algorithm, engineers can achieve significant improvement in aerodynamic performance. The case studies presented in the paper highlighted the practical applications and benefit of CFD in various engineering fields. Future work will focus on integrating more advanced turbulence model and exploring real-time optimization technique. That's all from my side. And if you have any question, you can ask from me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, lot number 47, P. Thirumagal, Govindammal Adityanar College for Women, Tiruchendur. Lot number 48, G. Jayalakshmi, Govindammal Adityanar College for Women, Tiruchendur. Lot number 49, Mano P. St. John's College, Palayam Kotte.
Sundari, I am Jayalakshmi. I am audible to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. I am G. Jayalakshmi, the HOD of Department of English, Govindamal Athana College for Women, Tiruchendur. My topic is Panoptism in Mahesh Dhani's Where There Is a Will. Mahesh Dhani is one of the greatest contemporary dramatists in India. His plays mainly concentrate on social evils. French philosopher Michel Foucault introduces the panopticon in Discipline and Punish, the birth of the prison, as a central apparatus of biopolitical regime seeking to regulate a body politic. In the 18th century, Bentham's prison design sketched a circular set of prison cells surrounding a central watchtower, whereby prison cells faced inward towards the watchperson, who could see the prisoners but could not be seen by them due to bright lights. This design helps the watchperson to surveil prison population and to control individuals. As the prisoners do not know when they are watched, they self-govern, self-discipline, and self-regulate in fear of constantly being watched. This design makes the prisoners powerless, and the authorities of the prison takes the power in their hands, regulating the individual behavior and actions of the prisoners. Foucault broadens Bentham's design to characterize panoptism as a general principle of new political anatomy, where object and end are not the relations of sovereignty, but the relation of discipline. Through generalized surveillance, a disciplinary society emerges by increasing the production of power relations at the least cost and without a sovereignty power. Existing under constant surveillance creates a power relation that encourages the inmate to take part in and even embody a sense of self surveillance. Dathoni's play, where there is a will, the concept of fanaticism can be used to illustrate the pervasive control of dominating father. Hasmukh Mehta over his family during his lifetime and even after his death. The patriarchal monitor of the play can be compared to a panoptic structure, forcing the member into a state of permanent involuntary compliance. Asmik Mehta acts as a central authoritative figure who notices and controls every aspect of his wife Sonal, son Ajit, and daughter-in-law Preeti. His behavior forces the other characters into a state of permanent visibility. Hasmukh's cunningness is very clear when he crafts an unconventional binding will that deprives the family of inheritance, and when he places his former mistress as a controller of his estate. Thus, after his death, he extends his controlling force through his will and his mistress. The family members never feel the controlling power of the patriarch. Instead, they behave as if they are constantly being watched. Interestingly, always the controlling spirit of Hasmukh always widespread there, and it rules because of his the fear of his wrath. People and the characters, all the other characters, that is the members, other members of the family, always control themselves. His son Ajit even reduced to a mere photocopy of his father, unable to establish his own dreams and individuality due to the constant surveillance and pressure. Thus, the play, where there's a will, can be analyzed with a view by taking into account the theory of fanaticism introduced by Michael Foucault. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, lot number 49, Mano P, St. John's College, Palankote. Lot number 50, Kushbu R, Christy Jayanti, deemed to be university.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Sundari, up to 50, after completing Kushbu, madam, we will wind up for lunch, break for lunch. Then we will carry forward exact at 2:15, ma'am. I have discussed with convener Uma ma'am also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, may I proceed, sir?
Yes, please.
Thank you, sir. So, very good morning to the panelists and to the participants. And here I'm presenting the paper on biodegradation of low-density polyethylene using actinomycetes and studying the synergistic effect. So, low-density polyethylene has been the major threat in our environment. So, we are using an eco-friendly method to degrade them to bring down to the non-calcistrant, non-toxic monomers. This is the flow of the work, and we have come up with a consortia that can very quickly degrade low density polyethylene into simple ethene molecules. This is a study of where the low density polyethylene is recognized as a sole source of carbon for the growth of the organism. This CGMS organisms tend to recognize them and degrade them, breaking their carbonyl group and adding the hydroxyl groups. pH study and temperature study has been analyzed where room temperature is more appropriate for the organism to degrade LDPE more efficiently, and neutral pH is more effective. Instrumental analysis showing GCMS and FTIR analysis comparing the before and after degradation process of 120 days. And this is a proof for the intermediate metabolites that are formed like hydroperoxide, aldehydes, carboxylic acid, ketones, and carbonyl groups. How there is a variation in the carbon and oxygen is also understood. How we can implement this is by mixing these organisms in the soil and encourage the efficiency of degradation. It also holds good for the soil that has heavy metals in them, as the organism is heavy metal resistant at the range of moderate and high, never low. This proves the FTR analysis. Formation of new bonds shows the higher degradation in the matter of 30 days. This is the statistical analysis, understanding the synergistic index and studying the hypothesis, where we are rejecting the null hypothesis that there is a definitely a significant difference between the control and the degraded LDPE. This Spearman correlation and the Pearson correlation shows an efficacy of versatile activity of these organisms at varying pH and temperature. These shows the witness or skewness of the statistical analysis. Regression analysis and principal component analysis marks a significant difference between the control and the degraded plastic, and these are the research outcome. And I have also filed a patent on this for degrading a low density polyethylene using a micro kit. That's the outcome of this research. And as a conclusion, as we are at the threat of dealing this LDP, there is a high need for remedies to be taken up to control the LDP contaminants in our environment, especially in the soil. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, the morning paper presentation session comes to an end. Let's assemble here after lunch, sharply at 2:50 p.m. and continue our paper presentation session. Thank you.
Thank you, Sundari. Thank you, Uma, madam. We will meet after lunch, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Person cake wiper.
Yes, sir.